sir. All right. So here we go. You wrote holiday on Monday. Today you wrote this blue objective. If you're taking a test, you just write test because focus on that. Everyone else, you wrote down this warm-up. Now, we're getting into Unit 2, which has to do with systems of equations, okay? Y'all may not like this unit that much. It's got a lot of algebra and plugging stuff in. But that is Algebra 2. Lots of algebra. So, it is what it is. So I'm trying to prepare you for that by reminding you how to solve a two-variable equation for one variable. Or, in this situation, a standard form linear equation for y. Okay? So this should be review from stuff you've done, hopefully in Algebra 1, or maybe algebraic reasoning. But, here we go. We're going to solve this. If you're not testing, focus up here. So, if I'm solving for y, what do I need to move first on this equation? Okay, the 4x. Not just the 4, not just the x, but the whole 4x term. Now, that 4x term is positive. How should I get rid of it? The opposite of a positive term is a negative, or subtracting that term, right? So I'm going to put underneath that 4x, minus 4x. Underneath 12, put minus 4x. On the left, these cancel out. I'm going to bring down 2y equals. Now, this is where people goof up or get confused, which is fine. Okay, but what is 12 minus 4x? What do y'all think? Okay, so it's not 8, it's not 8x. Okay, here's why. So check it out. This has an x, right? The minus 4x has an x. The 12 does not have an x. So they are not like terms. It's like apples and bananas. They don't make one fruit, right? They can't be combined into one single thing. So kind of like we've done before, if you have this situation, you write it next to each other. Now, you could write it as 12 minus 4x, but I'm kind of doing two steps in one here. Usually, don't we see the mx in front of the b? Okay? So I'm telling you, when you're solving these, this negative 4x, I like to show this with a little arrow. I'm going to put it in front of the 12 here. It's going to look like this. So I'm going to write negative 4x, and that 12 is positive, so I put plus 12. Okay, so let me recap. I need to solve for y, so I'm going to get rid of the x. I'm going to do the opposite. These don't combine on the right side, so I'm going to move it over in front of that 12. Okay? Now, last step, I have a 2 and a y. So 2y means 2 times y. So what's the how do I get rid of that 2? Divide. Okay? Well, it's the opposite of that. Multiplying 2 is dividing 2. So everything gets divided by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Over on the left side, those 2's cancel out.
Not putting the 1?
No, just dividing by 2's. And then bring down y equals. And then you can reduce each of these fractions. So negative 4 over 2 is what? So just the coefficients. Negative 4 divided by 2. What's half of negative 4? Okay, negative 2x. And then what's 12 divided by 2? It's 6, so plus 6. Do you see how x and y were on the same side? And now I have y by itself. You're going to have to be able to do this when we're doing systems of equations in this next unit. So this is a little precursor. I want you to try number 2 like number 1. So number 2. I'm solving for y, so what do I need to move first? The 3x. It's a positive term, so what am I going to write? Minus 3x on both sides. So minus 3x here. On the other side, minus 3x here. These cancel out. Careful, what do I bring down on the left? Negative 5y. So don't forget the sign. I know there's a 5y, but that negative goes with the 5. It's a negative 5y. Bring it down, okay? If you forget that sign, it's going to goof up your whole answer, and then you'll be like, gosh. Now, 15 minus 3x, is that 12? Is it 12x? Is it 45? Is it negative 45? It's none of those. Those are all wrong, okay? Again, you can't combine x's with constants. So we write them next to each other. So the negative 3x is going to go in front of 15. So negative 3x plus 15. Do you see how the mx goes in front of the b? They're separated. They're not combined. Okay, now, last step. How do I get rid of a negative 5 in front of y? Divide by what? Divide by the exact same number, which is negative 5. Okay? Because you want those negatives to cancel out too. Okay? So we're going to divide by negative 5. Now, some people, and I get it, they see the negative 5, they think, oh, I'm going to add 5. But remember, these are being multiplied. You still need to divide by the exact same number, negative 5. So divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. Now, we did that so they would cancel on the left. These are gone. Goodbye. We have y equals... So negative 3 over negative 5. Now, if you remember, usually when we do mx plus b, m is slope, which is usually a rise over run fraction. So you could give me a decimal by hitting Control-Enter, but you don't have to. You can just leave it as a fraction, but negative over negative makes this fraction a positive 3 over 5. Don't forget to take the passing sign. So just 3 over 5 is fine. It's not 2. 3 over 5. X, and then 15 divided by negative 5 is what? Negative, or minus 3, okay? So remember, a positive divided by a negative gives you a negative. Okay, so that's good. Some of this, the tricky part might be just reducing correctly. You can use a calculator to help you out, okay? If I just type this in, it would give me this. If I type this in, it would give me this. So if you need that assistance, your yellow calculator will help you with those computations. The main thing you got to know is the steps for getting y by itself. You really need to be able to solve for a variable. So like, that's why we're doing this today, practicing while some of us finish our tests. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to pass this out. See if you can do this on your assignment. Can you drop that in the bin? Wait, hold on. Like one little thing. Little thing. Oh! Okay, you understand now? You sure? Okay, here we go. I lost it. Okay, here it is. Bam. Alright, ready? Now, there's one little thing. On number 1, you're going to see a negative y. Now, negative y is really negative what? What is implied right here in front of y? A 1. Is negative 1y the same thing as just y? No. How do you get rid of anything in front of y? So I'm telling you, on number 1, your last step to get rid of that negative in front of the y is to divide by negative 1. That's how you're going to cancel it out, okay? It's an ugly 1. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Whatever. Okay, so when you're doing number 1, move over the x and everything. Just don't forget to divide by negative 1 because negative y is negative 1y, okay? So those of us testing, finish your test. Those of you who are, if you just finished your test and you need the warm-up, there's the objective. There's everything that you need for the warm-up. And then you can try the assignment for today.